Honestly, last recap here, for this series. Literally, Melissa Shields survived the plane crash. Can't talk. Not only that, the fact being that Deku's planning something on using Island for something too with his zombies, while still chasing All Might and all that. Well, the hero specifically, because he plans on doing that anyway. Not only that, well, casualties. Tetsu lost motor function in one of his arms because, well, it had to be burned to be closed so he wouldn't get infected. A lot of things happened. But for this episode, I hope you enjoy that. One thing, I've been using a lot of AI music for many reasons, because the fact being I do not want to, I can't really make music myself, so I'm just using AI to do it for me. Just letting you guys know for that reason. And goodbye for now. See you in the story. So Melissa Shield has been really doing stuff lately, honestly. Basically, she's been scavenging around, finding parts so she can make certain weaponry. Because in the end of the day, she's just one person. She knows that. And not only that, she's trying to find ways to get to other survivors and all that, so she won't, die. But yeah, besides that fact, she's found actually old UA factory, which was the ones making the villain bots. Yeah, she's found 5 of them. She's incredibly amazed of herself. And not only that, she found 1 0 pointer, which she's been thinking to herself, and this is what she's thinking about. Okay then, how can I make these bots more deadly against these zombies? The zombies have a rotten corpse and, they're falling apart practically. But still, I would still need a good amount of force coming from these machines to bring down the zombies. And I know physically they can do that, but their weaponries have rubber bullets and all that, so I need to find a way to give them ammunition and much more. Which this is what she's thinking, by the way, so if you were curious at all. But while she's doing that and trying to figure out how to, practically do that, she thinks to go find it's simple, to go find a gun factory practically, because it may make the ammunition that she seeks. But she does activate one of the bots, 1 pointer robot, because it has, if I remember right, it's just the melee one. Could be wrong though, but still it's useful than having no protection at all, right? Because in the end of the day, if it works practically. That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, not only that, she heads out in the city. Zombies just walking around they're patrolling. And she has done some research, noticing that the zombies have a hive mind, she figured out. Because she doesn't remember what happened before still. Memories of that is a blur. So she practically relearned what these zombies did in the current moment. Even now, she uses that knowledge to her advantage by throwing some cans of soda or whatever on the other direction of the zombies while they get distracted, or just using the 1 pointer to distract the zombies by just making it drive somewhere else, and then the zombies follow it, but they don't destroy it or anything, because again, it's a machine, and we all know what Deku's thinking. He's like, what the fuck is this thing doing all the way out here? But he would notice it's not attacking anything, so he's just thinking, it's probably just a messed up bot that came off the factory, wasn't fully finished, or something along the lines. But anyway, back to Melissa Shield for a second. I kind of got sidetracked. So she continues on her way, and she finds an old abandoned, gun factory. And part of the factory, luckily for her, makes ammunition. So she goes over there and practically steals the shit. Using this 1 pointer to help her collect the necessary materials. While they're doing that, we cut to Deku and what he's been doing. So he has tracked the plane all the way back to the hero airport, knowing that they're still there, but however, he has realized that there's underground tunnels leading from that airport all the way back to UA. If he can pierce that tunnel, he can infect them all and get the meal that he desires and prepare to launch an assault to the rest of the world. He's just been preparing, he just needs the forces. That's all he needs. So he can fly and turn the world into practically a giant lunchbox for him. So in the end of the day, he practically, turns to his servant and says, do you have any ideas to get into that hatch, my Nana Shimura? And she turns to him and says, yes, my dear master. I have some ideas. We could just use certain heroes with certain quirk to easily break it, break into it, like either use them as a kamikaze and blow them, blow a hole into it, or use certain ones with drills or certain things. And not only that, we also have the weird purple creature thingy. And Deku turns to her and says, "You mean Nomu, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I mean those." Deku thinks about it and says, "That's pretty interesting. But what about if they notice what we're doing?" Then Nana Shimura says, "Well, simple. They won't. We give them the biggest distraction that we have in our army." And they both turn to, well, Mount Lady. And Deku's like, "Oh." And just give her enough forces to just distract the heroes. Nana Shimura is like, "Yes. And besides, those casualties won't matter because the numbers we would get afterwards would hugely replace Mount Lady." Then he's thinking about it and he says, "That's fair. Very well. You may do your plan, just do not lose too many of our forces for it." Then Nana says, "Very well, my master." Then she goes off to do what she was told to do. Then we cut back to Melissa Shields' point of view. She got the machines working again, the ones that manufacture, ammunition and much more. And not only that, she found a way to get the bullets from that old factory all the way to, well, the old UA bot place, And the way she did it was kind of weird. It's like kind of with a mixture of drones flying back and forth, and kind of had it where they have like a charging area so they can charge up and then go off. And when she was doing this, she had a good amount of time to actually build more UA bots to protect it, just to protect that zone, just in case if the hive mind got smart and realized, oh, something's going up here, we got to destroy the base, we got to destroy this building and stuff like that. So she just thought, you know what, gonna do this, make life easier, I guess. But not only that, the fact being that she doing a lot more. She has something else planned, something that she's been thinking about. It's to modify the zero pointer. And Melissa Shield's thoughts are, right here, because I'm going to tell you what she's thinking. So she's thinking, oh yes, I could upgrade this thing. I could give this thing more miniguns, maybe a railgun too, and a few rocket launcher areas so I can control where the missiles go and, blow up more zombies. But the only downside is those no moves, because in the end, they probably could maybe beat this thing. But in the end, it's a giant mech suit, so I'm the one controlling it. Fuck. Which, that's what she's thinking. But she goes on along with her plan, thinking, you know what, gotta fix up a lot of this stuff, even make more bot, Since this is a factory after all, and if I get it operational again, I could probably get a lot more robots to help me destroy, well, Ground Zero, or, well, Patient Zero in this case, right? Because in the end of the day, she knows who she's after. She has to kill him so her father can be safe and, nothing happens to him. But however, she continues fixing a lot more stuff, taking a look around and all that too. But then she comes across a little girl, and it's a girl with a weird horn on her head. She walks over and picks up the girl quickly, as the girl freaks out, obviously, and says, "Who are you?" in a scared tone of voice. As she says, it's okay. I'm just trying to keep you safe from these monsters that are walking around." And she looks at the little girl and says, "What's your name?" And the little girl looks up at her and says, "My name is Eri." Yep, it's Eri, because I never stated what actually happened to her. Maybe I did, but, we'll retcon that if I said otherwise. But anyway, she's looking at Melissa Shield and says, "My name's Eri, and I'm lost. I don't know where I am. I'm scared." And Melissa Shield says, "It's okay, Eri. You can stay here with me. I got a few friendly faces, if you count robots as friendly faces." And also, if you're wondering how the heck is she talking, she's not actually speaking with her actual voice. She kind of made like a modulator thing that connects it to her throat. So I just forgot to mention that she, made that during when she was building more robots and getting the factory operational. So she did that. And so it just came out as a robotic voice. Wanted to put that out there so, nothing conflicting with certain points of the story. But anyway, back into it. So yeah, she takes Eri inside the factory as some of the robots just go by and, just not really caring too much. But Aries just a little bit scared. She doesn't know. She doesn't know anything. She's terrified, just a little bit. Because, the robot is scary, but what's out there is more scary, But Melissa Shield just holds on to her, keeps her safe. She feels warm. Feels like she's nice and warm, nice and safe, Then Aerie just slowly falls asleep in her arms. Simple and easy. As Melissa Shield finds that so goddamn adorable, continues finding a spot to put Aerie down so she can, sleep. But for some reason, Melissa Shield doesn't want to leave the child's side. So she just sticks around with the child until, Aerie wakes up. So in the end, it's just how it is. All right, this is where I'm going to leave it off. Yes, I know, incredibly short compared to every other series I have created or whatever. Yeah, it's because I am trying to figure out what else I could do for Zombie Deku, because this is literally coming to an end. But before it does, there is going to be some characters that I will introduce into this series and all that, before it ends. And maybe one of them will join Melissa Shield after a certain incident. Just a certain little happy accident, if you want to say, just a little happy accident. All right, but that's all I have to say. And a peace.